Welcome to episode 113 of Curio. This week we're going to be telling you everything you need to know about the Hawk Tuah girl, the Talking Tour podcast, and the Hawk token crypto shit. Oh, we got props, instruments. Wow. The budget for Curio is just going up and up and up. We've got little instruments.
Live
now.
Cabasa.
Okay, I was gonna ask the name for that, and I didn't want to in case it was just a maraca, and that I should have known that, but I didn't.
No. It's different. It's more like
it's got the bits on the beads on the outside.
Yeah, as opposed to like it's more of a. It's more like a sort of rolly.
Okay.
It's a proper like primary school.
Yeah,
They'd have one of these in the stuff. Like,
yeah,
and the kid that was kind of shit would get that probably.
I was going to say, I think that's the kind of thing I probably would have gone for. It looks cool. It looks a bit like a weapon.
It does look cool. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit medieval.
But it's actually quite hard to get a decent rhythm out of it.
Well, you did a great job.
Thanks, Tom.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about the Hawk Tuah girl. Most people know who she is. I'll be surprised if anyone who's watching this or listening to this doesn't know who she is. But recently there's been a lot more development within the Hawk Tuah verse, I'll call it. Yeah. Real quick before we get into it though, just before we recorded, you had to pop to Waitrose to grab a few bits, didn't you?
Yeah. Waitrose, I'm going up in the world.
Yeah, I know. First of all, I was going to say very posh.
Yeah.
That curio money. I have never stepped foot in a Waitrose.
You're not?
No. I'm 28 and a half years old. And I've never been into a Waitrose.
I would say you're missing out, but you're not. You're missing out on inflated prices and the same stuff, really. Although it does have a couple of like sort of things you'd expect. You know, like if I'm like looking at a recipe book and it's got like, especially like vegan recipe books, there'll be like some obscure thing that you need, like.
Yeah,
I can't think of an example right now. Like
carrots or something.
like a specific miso paste, not just maybe like white miso paste or something. And I think Waitrose probably got it, and Waitrose have got it.
Stuff.
Yeah, you ain't getting that. Exactly, you ain't getting that. Or Waitrose have got that, or like a specific type of pimento bean or something. I think I remember getting that. I looked at the rest before. They're gonna have that, and they fucking did. Like, yeah.
I feel like I'm not missing out too much because I have been into M&S, and
it's similar. Yes,
I've ranked like they're always ranked like the same, but I've never actually been into a Waitrose to like figure out. Oh, this is actually better. Yeah. When I worked at M&S, there was a Waitrose across the road, and because they were like our rivals, I swore off.
Clear,
yeah, Waitrose.
I think with like the maybe like now that there's that like Marks and Spencer's are like new now, aren't they? They're like they've leveled up. Now that they're leveled up, I think they've
regeneration. Yeah, it's like a Pokemon, like
What do
they call it in Pokemon?
Now. And I think that they're more
Evolution.
like on the groceries, whereas before it was a bit more like I don't know. It wasn't so heavy on the groceries, was it? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I feel it used to be like
maybe
going there for like a couple little bits, but like you wouldn't do like
you wouldn't shop.
Yeah,
but it's fucking expensive. I did see a guy Nick. He was about to nick. I was in it the other day. I mean, this is a sign of the times, isn't it?
Waitrose.
In Waitrose, yeah. And he was like, there was two ladies like standing by the door, like workers who worked there, and they were sort of like talking to each other and saying about some guy. And they had this trolley, and they were like, "We'll see if he comes back." And I realized afterwards that I'd seen him. There was a guy that was like standing with the trolley, and then he just left. And they were like, "We'll give us let's see if he comes back. Put it over there." He was like, "But he's not gonna." And then as I was checking out, I saw them like ringing up, like I guess they were ringing up like maybe like what he was gonna steal. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah.
They were like, I heard him saying that I was over like £200 worth of stuff here, like that he'd had in his trolley.
Yeah.
I guess if you're going to nick stuff from Waitrose, you might as well nick the full trolley's worth. And but I don't know how he expected to make a quick getaway with that. Like, what was he going to do? Run to his car and like then quickly stand in the car like doing this? Like, what was the plan there?
Yeah, we used to have people stealing quite a fair bit at M&S, but it would always be like something you could slip in your coat.
Yeah, he had a full trolley's worth of stuff, and I don't know if it was like, I wonder if that was like his actual like shop, and he's just like, I'm just gonna nick it, or whether he'd gone for like like supermarket sweep high ticket items.
Yeah, go in and get
and was going to then like luzz them into the thing. But I don't know, but it looked like just like your groceries. Maybe he just thought, that's what I'll do. I don't want to be too immoral. I just want to eat for the week. I'm going to nick my week's shopping.
All right. Well, one person who doesn't need to steal groceries is Hailey Welch. I don't know how long ago it was. It was probably about. Yeah. Is she a thief? Yeah. I don't know how long ago it was. It was probably like 6 months ago now that the whole like Hawk Tuah meme first came around.
Hard to tell, and things like this time sort of.
Oh,
it could be ancient if it was like a month ago, and it's.
Yeah, in terms of the internet, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But usually, the reason why things sort of things are very cyclical like that on the internet, or it's very like short lifespan, really, memes, is because there's like a new thing that comes along. There's a meme, and then people have a laugh with it. A week later, that's an old meme. I can't believe you're still quoting that. That was a Q2 meme, and we've moved on now.
Yeah.
But the Hawk Tuah one, despite the fact it never became like a common meme, like people don't say that in everyday life.
No.
People don't use Hawk Tuah memes. She somehow managed to ride the wave of like popularity more than anyone I've seen in recent history.
But I remember like it was almost even like it was barely a week had gone by of it, and people were like, "I'm bored of this now." She needs to go like, and people were seeing it for the first time still, and there's instantly people like probably like a couple of days after, people were like, "Fuck this, I'm bored of this now." So you had your 5 minutes, fuck off.
Yeah. If there's anyone who doesn't know, then essentially there was the people I feel real bad for are the guys that like filmed it, the ones who actually like created that content. It was like some guys doing like on the street interviews, seemingly like outside some nightclubs or like a nightlife kind of area in America. I think it was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And interviewing people on the street, and the guy asks, it's something like what's your like number one tip for like pleasuring a man or something, or like what's your number one tip for like for in bed or whatever.
Go-to move or something.
Yeah, and then this girl replies and she says like, you gotta Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. And like, sure, funny, like in the moment, and her friends are like, oh my god, I can't believe you said that. And like, somehow that just like blew up. Like you'd think again it'd be one of those things, everyone sees it on TikTok, the next day it's gone. But somehow she was, not long after, like a few weeks, she's going on all the biggest podcasts. She's like getting invited to these like red carpet, proper big celebrity events. She's like at the UFC, like ringside.
Is she? Like, go ringside.
Yeah, she was. I
saw
like
she was on like
out.
country, because she was a bit country. Obviously, she was like
she's like a country
American
girl,
kind of Midwest. Is that what they call it? Yeah, and she obviously like spit on that bang, and so I saw her like getting on stage with like country performers and that. And I saw videos of those getting shared around, and that's where all the comments would be like, she needs to fucking stop now. You had your time. Get out of here.
Yeah, she was showing up to all these events. And like before this, she had no online presence at all. I think she didn't even have like an Instagram or a Twitter or anything like that. She was just like normal girl. I think she's only like 21 or something. And like literally overnight, she's blown up, and she's like one of the most like, not the most famous, but like most talked about for that like short period of time. People. Yeah,
I'm sure it would like peak really high in like search results or whatever, or if you did some sort of
I wonder. Usually, Google usually does like a wrap up of the year. That's like the most Googled things. Maybe we'll do that for an episode for like the final episode of the year. We can have a look through like the most Googled things of the year and see what if there's any curios in there. But I think it kind of died down a little bit. Like she, I think, tried to come out with like a line of like hot sauces or something like that. And the thing is, I don't blame her. Like she's not the one pushing this thing. I think
Yeah.
that she's probably quickly got a manager or some like.
She did sell a
team.
decent amount of merch, like t-shirts or something. It was something like her uncle mate had a t-shirt company or something.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, something like that. So they banged out a ton of t-shirts real quick and made a decent amount of money.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause a lot of the time it's when
Hats,
celebrities and like, creators come out with a line of hot sauces or sweets or a drink, they're not actually like, it's not their idea. They're not making it. They don't own the company.
Said, yeah, do you want to get involved? Can I stick your face on this? Yeah.
Yeah, and like one of the biggest examples is Prime with like Logan Paul and KSI, like huge drink. One of the most probably the biggest like
who are they?
Online creator. KSI and Logan Paul.
I'm saying this.
I had a moment there. I thought like, does this guy maybe not know? Like, you're a few years older than me, but like not that much. They, despite the fact they do own a big chunk of the company, I think they only own like 33% each, and like the other third was an already established company. Like this company's already making drinks. They're already got like these sport drinks ready to go, and they kind of just reached out and was like, look, let's split this thing. We can make it massive with all your marketing and pay them enough for it to work. And good on them. So I think like a lot of the same thing is happening with Hawk Tuah girl.
You're sitting there,
Hawk Tuah girl.
Feastables thing, though.
Oh, the what's it called? Lunchly.
Lunchly, that's it. Not
So they partnered with Mr. Beast, who has Feastables, and then they've made like a Lunchables.
That's getting absolutely rinsed, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Like a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people have like with all of these products, like YouTubers do like their own reviews, don't they? And they're like me trying out Lunchly. A few of them got like mold in there and stuff. I saw
one person and he was like, it was showing like KSI's responsive, like people just want to hate on us. People just want to hate on us. And he was like, no, loads of people bought Prime. Like that's not true. Like you didn't just bring stuff out. People are hating us because it's shit. like that's okay. Like it's all right. You made a product, it didn't work out, it was shit. It's fine. It's not like a personal blight on you. Move on. Like like take the L, as the kids say.
And I think they'll still do well out of it. I don't think.
I'm sure they fucking will. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like,
I
don't keep pushing it like it's actually like good for you and that. Like just be like, oh, okay, exactly. Maybe it didn't work out. Maybe let's move on to the next one. Prime did all right. It's not like it's not like a personal vendetta against you. Like that's clearly not true. Prime still is huge. Like
it is, yeah. And you never really know with these kind of things because like it was huge, right? Like it was sold out everywhere. Prime and people,
crazy.
Corner shops were selling it for like £5 a bottle, even more, I think. And now you just see it on the shelves though. Like you see it on the shelves like normal, and it's maybe they've got their stock in check now, or maybe it's just all the kids that want it have now got the bottles and they've tasted it and now they don't care. Like it's just another drink, which is probably what they want. Like they want it's just meant to be another drink.
Yeah.
But anyway, Hawk Tuah girl, she seized the moment, sold some merch, sold some hot sauce, I think, sold some t-shirts, and things kind of died down. I feel like people were not talking about her as much. And then out of nowhere, she launched a podcast, which, I guess. I'm not one to
I was going to say, we can't
bang the drum of pointless podcasts. And,
that'd be really ironic.
There's so many memes that's like, it'll be like a picture of a Shure SM7B, like the mic that both of us are using right now. That's like, these things should have like a license to use or something. And like, not everyone should have a podcast.
Yeah, sometimes I do feel like when I tell someone, we do a podcast, they're like, oh, cool.
And like the meme of like, it's the meme of like 3 white guys in their 30s. Like,
it's just basically like I think it's like the new CB radio. It's just like Hobbit, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think like you've probably had it quite a lot with like just being in a band, right? Like how many people are in a so many people claim to be in a band, and so many people claim to be like a DJ. We've met a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'm a DJ." Okay, yeah, and some people do it and they're really great. Some people don't, but like. Yeah. I'm not criticizing her for launching a podcast.
Yeah.
Mate, again, like take the bag, seize the moment.
Yeah.
The podcast, I tried to do some research for this episode and listen to the podcast, and I listened to maybe 3 of them. They're all about an hour to an hour and a half long. But each one I only made about 4 minutes in before I couldn't really listen to it anymore.
Okay, maybe you're not the target audience.
I don't think I am, but I don't know how many people are, because when you look through the comments, each video has tons of views as well. Like, she's doing well. Like, the latest one has 300,000.
Yeah.
And this is just on YouTube. 300,000, 200,000, 300, 500. The first one had the most with 2.6 million.
Wow.
And that's just on YouTube. So she's going to be getting like similar on Spotify and Apple as well.
Mm.
The problem is, when you look at the comments, everyone is basically saying, who's watching this? I can't believe so many people are watching this. Is anyone making it more than a minute into that? All of the comments are slating it. So are those views hour-long views? Like, I don't know. Mm. She's signed to Jake Paul's like media company. Like, they are the ones running the podcast. And I think that's what like got a lot of people who were maybe on her side, like, oh, she's just like seizing the 15 minutes of fame, making some money. And then when she signed with Jake Paul, who obviously a lot of people hate, and, you know, in a lot of people's eyes, he's like one of the worst people on the internet. For her to like sign with him and now like ride his kind of fame, I think that reduced people's opinion of her quite a bit. The best thing that has come out of the Talk Tuah podcast, though, is the Talk Tuah podcast.
All right.
This is it's
a good name, guy. I gotta give him that for starters, isn't it? Just the Talk Tuah podcast is
brilliant branding. Yeah. Like, from turning that little phrase, that Hawk Tuah, Talk Tuah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's good.
And I wonder if it didn't have that branding, how well would the podcast have done? Like, is it like they came up with the name first? It was so, like, it's like there's a Sam Fender tribute act called Sham Fender, which is just great. And he's like, was it just a guy that like thought of that first and then went, maybe I'll do it. Rather than, I really want to do a Sam Fender tribute act. What can I call it? You know, like it feels like it was the other way around. Yeah. There's a lot of tribute acts that have great names like that.
Yeah, it's above,
Yeah, like I've seen Oasis.
Yeah. Much better than the name Shoasis, but the band Shoasis are better.
Yeah.
There's no Oasis as well.
No Oasis. Okay. Seen the Clone Roses. They were good.
Clone Roses, that's good. That's a good one.
Good one. Yeah. The Talk Tuah podcast, though, with Cam and Pete. These are 2 guys that are just sitting and having a chat about the Talk Tuah podcast. And it's so funny because they sit there with like a massive glass of wine. And
do they have wine in the Hawk Tuah podcast then or something? Is it like,
I don't know.
At all? Not really. It's just.
I don't actually know. I think it's just for like aesthetics.
Just their own little bit,
Yeah. They take it so seriously, and that's what's so funny is because the Talk Tuah podcast is not like super serious. It's her like telling stories about her and her friends. She's interviewing some big people. She's got like Mark Cuban on there on a recent episode. But then the Talk Tuah podcast, they are like critiquing every little bit, but like in a jokey way, like just the framing of the camera, and they'll pick out a sentence and be like, what do we think she meant by this answer? And they're really like going deep in it, but like the answer is just like what their favorite dessert was or something. Like they're just talking about like what food they like, and they're breaking it down like, what do we think that says about Hailey here? And really like, it's great. Shout out to the Talk Tuah podcast.
Do they even sip the wine? Oh, they do drink it. Oh, they do.
To be honest, I haven't watched it. Like, I just see like clips.
And they have
come
guests
up on,
as well. That's great.
Yeah, it's great. Like dry humor, like real deadpan. And then I wonder as well with these guys, like, did it start as a joke for them, But they're like, oh, it'd be funny if we like took it real seriously and proper like, dug into it. And then as they're doing it, they are actually digging into it deeper than they thought they would.
Yeah. Yeah, really getting stuck into the bit.
Yeah, and there's like a comment here on one of the Talk Tuah episodes. I can't be the only one who only watches the Talk Tuah podcast, since I do not have the mental capacity for the Talk Tuah podcast. Thank you for the breakdown of the themes that would pass right over my head.
Just realised though, like the levels of that is happening right now. We're on a podcast talking about the podcast where they talk about another podcast.
Yeah, we are talking Talk Tuah. Yeah. I saw a lot of stats about how on the first week of Talk Tuah, it was like the most streamed podcast on Spotify or something for that week, and that's cool. I don't
good marketing.
Don't know how long that's going to keep up for, but well done to her for that.
Love your praise of like, yeah, I mean, giving fair balanced praise there, Tom.
Yeah, like I feel, say we did one episode that just happened to get like millions of listens, and it was like the top thing, but the rest of the episodes didn't perform as well. Like, I don't think that's a bad. You'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll take that.
I remember when we had that Instagram reel that like did quite well. Oh, and it was the same as when me and Lawford made a YouTube video that like did quite well. It was like the Legends Never Die theme. Legends never die when the world is calling you.
That was great.
Yeah, and it did well for like 24 hours, and then it dropped off. But like, man, I see why people can't, like the criticism. I couldn't handle it. I felt really exposed, like. And especially with that video where it was like I would have put more effort into it if I'd have thought loads of people were going to see it. Like I was like quite pleased with it, but there were bits where we definitely like rushed, and like it was literally it was meant for like Castley, like that was it.
Yeah, it was like an inside joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was it was just meant for one person to see, really, and a few of our mates. And then like, when all these other people see, I was like, cool, like I feel. And then when all those people saw the reel, I mean, ideally that would have been the plan, but like people start digging you out, don't they? And it's just naturally people on the internet are mean. So I can see like it just must be horrible, really. Like it's quite brave. I mean, I get you say you're doing it for like they're obviously doing it for the money. Like she's doing it for the money, but like at the same time you're opening yourself up to a lot of fucking shit. I guess just don't look at it is all you can really do, isn't it?
Yeah, and like sometimes it depends what the criticism is, because sometimes it's like you can tell it's just someone who's moaning about everything, and
and you can brush it off. Yeah,
it's like not personal. It's like, oh, this person's mad, whatever. But then sometimes like they do go a bit too deep, and you're like, oh, that's kind of mean.
Yeah. I was expecting on our video. I was waiting for someone to say something about my hair, and I was like, Lawful is going to have a field day, and no one said shit about my hair, and there was loads of comments about like. Why that dude only got his baby teeth? Like, I thought that was really mean, and I was just like, that's too funny.
Yeah, I do remember like coming into work and you guys all just like refreshing your phones and like, look at this comment they left. It was, what was we saying? Talk to her.
Talking.
And yeah, I can imagine like. She seems to be doing okay with like the amount of attention that she's suddenly got, like all in one go. And I think like maybe a younger generation are kind of more would maybe deal with it a bit better. Like it's more expected now that like, oh, if you put something online, like it might just randomly blow up. Like I think a lot of kids now that like they would be maybe a bit less sensitive to something like that, like they wouldn't like be as shocked. I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there's there'll be a video at some point down the line of like, maybe a couple of years after it's all died down of like, or maybe it won't die down. Maybe she'll end up staying in the the thing. But if she doesn't and it all dies down, you know, they're bound to be like her talking about the shit she got online for it. Like you see that quite a lot, don't you? With these like, because she's probably got more shit than positive, I'd say.
Yeah, especially in the past week or so.
Yeah, okay. This is when we get to the yeah.
Yeah. So this is where it gets a bit more confusing, I'd say, maybe.
Okay.
The
sympathy starts to wane a little.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, so she's just been hanging out, doing her podcast, doing her thing, talking to her, whatever that means. And I don't know where it like came from. I think it just like came out of the blue. She must have like tweeted it that she was launching her own crypto token.
I don't think people still did that as well. Like that's so 2022, isn't it? Like or 2023, whenever it fucking was.
I don't know. Like, I think it comes in waves. Obviously, like recently, Bitcoin has hit
up.
Yeah, hitting new highs, and
new tokens coming out. Then I guess that makes sense.
You know, one of our close friends who is a crypto bro expert, I see him tweeting quite a lot about the new shit coins and meme coins, whatever. And I mean, to be fair, he sent me some Pepe, and it's doing well.
Is it?
So, it's doing better than it was. I think he sent me like it was like 10 quid worth of Pepe, and now it's like 80 quid worth of Pepe or something. So
that's sick.
Shout out.
Gains.
But yeah, so she's launching her own crypto token. Now, when I saw this, I thought, how is she going to make money off this? Because surely no one is going to be buying that thinking that's like an actual solid investment. Like, do people actually still go, oh yeah, you know, I could put my money into some stocks, I could put it into like a pension thing, or I could be a bit risky and I could buy some Bitcoin. But no, I think the Hawk Tuah girl, this is...
Yeah, it's weird.
This girl who got famous for saying spit on his dick. Like, that's where I'm going to put my money.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? But like with all of these, they're all the same. It's like, and for loads of them, it's like the people, like most of the people would, you know, like, was it Logan or Jake did one? Logan, wasn't it?
Logan's got, I think they've both done them. Sure, but they were like Logan, I think, is the most
doink or whatever the fucking they called it, or.
Yeah.
And it was like all the people were like, the fans were okay with the idea that it was a scam.
Yeah.
Allegedly. You know, like because some of them were, we're getting some money, you know, like, I guess that's all, that's the thing. People are happy to be like, we'll get involved in this because maybe we'll make the money before it gets fucking.
Like you might be able to time it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
surely no one does it thinking this will be a great long-term investment.
The super simple way of like how it works is that they make these imaginary coins, and the coins are worth a certain amount of money, and the more people that buy the coins, the more it's going to be worth. So they say, everyone buy my coin. Thousands or tens of thousands or whatever of people buy coins, so the value goes up. And then because they own a massive portion of the coins, they own like, in this case, apparently 96% of the coins, that they can just then sell the coins, take all the money that people have just given them, and now all those people don't have money. Like,
I don't understand it. How it's like, how is that okay? It's not okay, is it? Is it? But it's not illegal.
I think maybe because it's such a new thing.
Yeah, but by now they must have caught up. Like some people have been charged, haven't they, with some things? I think, but like maybe not. None of the big names. There's been no like huge case where someone's really been done for it, is there? Like
not that I can think of. Not anyone who is
a public
super
figure.
Yeah, like you need like a big figure like Logan or something to get in some big trouble for it to actually have an impact. I think. I'm sure they probably have maybe found some non-famous person and like
chuck the book at him or something. Yeah, I've watched a few videos about someone like that. I think that's been done with some stuff, but yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, the real sort of basics of this is that she announced this token, and obviously, she is not the one sitting there generating these coins and making these.
Made the back end of a cryptocurrency. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And yeah, tweeted it out so all of her fans will go and buy some Hawk tokens. So it's $Hawk. So dumb. And yeah, lots of people bought it apparently. Put quite a lot of money into it. And then there was like a mass sell from some people who were seemingly on the inside, had loads of tokens from day one. Rug pull, as they call it. They pulled a rug out from under you, and you're left with nothing.
It's just so obvious as well. Like it's obvious. But that's the thing. Everyone's bought it knowing that was going to happen, and they think I'll be the one that can get out.
Maybe, yeah. Like, I'll just buy it. It'll go up a little bit. I'll sell before the rug gets pulled.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like most of the people buying must be thinking that that's what they're going to do. But little do they know the rug's already pulled pretty much before they even fucking.
Yeah. Now you'd think so. So like that, and that was my assumption. There's probably not that many people mad because they're like, this was always a possibility.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't put all my money into this.
Yeah.
And yeah, so CoffeeZilla, who is a YouTuber who does like investigative videos on other YouTubers. A lot of it has been around like crypto scams and stuff like that's where he sort of popped off a few years ago.
Yeah.
Doing like the Logan Paul scam thing, and he does a lot of good journalism. Like he will reach out to all these experts and people who are in the know and like CEO of this company. Yeah, he goes real deep, and he's obviously got a big following, so he's got people who will help him and connections to like get in contact with these people. And he's just a big name, so if you get a message from CoffeeZilla saying we need to have a word, you should probably answer.
I feel like he's like giving evidence in like trials now. Maybe
I wouldn't be surprised, or if just like his video is enough. Like,
maybe not stood in court and give evidence, but like provided. He definitely does that at least, doesn't he? I think he gets through stuff and goes, "Here you go, like fucking do something with this."
Yeah, well, he's been sued by Logan Paul, I think.
Trying to, isn't he? Yeah.
For like slander or defamation.
Well, they're doing that thing that rich people do, which is a cunt that you can do in America. It's called like a slap order or something, and you basically just stick so much money against it that like to even fight. Even if you win, it still costs you loads or something crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like Logan's obviously got so much money that he can pay for all these lawyers and like force CoffeeZilla to have to pay out for lawyers and have to go to court and
shut up and stop talking about and then like maybe, and then you're like got the fear of losing where you're in hugely in the hole. But like even if you win, I still think it costs you money.
I think so. Yeah. Land of the free.
Because America.
Yeah.
Land of the free. Yeah.
Yeah. But he posted a video, not on his main channel, on his second channel, Voidzilla. And it's actually his most viewed video on that channel at the moment now. It's got like 2.5 million views, which is him basically breaking down how this Hawk token is a scam. And
shouldn't it be called Hawk Tuah? Hawk Tuah.
Yeah, maybe they've said...
Hawk Tuah.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is with these like crypto tokens is one of the like stated benefits of like the blockchain and crypto is that everything is like open on the block. Like you can see all of the transactions. Like there's a history of every transaction that's made, and it might not identify who that person is. You can just see like, oh, this like string of numbers transferred money to this string of numbers, or not money transferred Hawk tokens to this string of numbers. And there's basically a huge list where it shows all of these people sold their tokens, but these people never bought the tokens, which means they were obviously like founders. They're there on the inside, that these are the people that had the tokens without having to buy them because they just appeared in their account and then sold them like straight away. So yeah, she is sort of in a bit of hot water about that. What was funny about it is that CoffeeZilla went on one of those Twitter spaces to like talk to him about it. So
Yeah, what is that?
Twitter
Is it a new-
Spaces is like a public audio call, basically.
Kind of like a
So like,
public Discord sort of.
yeah, kind of. So like,
Yeah.
you know, if I went on Twitter and I started a Twitter space and then like invited you, then me and you would be talking, and then our followers can just hop in and listen. They can't talk, but then you can invite people to talk. So
Okay.
it was just Hailey and then like two of the founders who are behind the whole crypto thing talking, and they're talking for
So
like
she's
20
proper
minutes.
like she is properly like involved in it enough that like
yeah, it's not
yeah.
like they're just using her name. Like she is
Yeah.
there, like talking about it, saying, "Yeah, buy this token. Like it's great."
and
But
it's
she
the
doesn't know, like-
allegations that she's made a shit ton of the money. Like she got a
Yeah.
load of the tokens.
Yeah, well, he was in this CoffeeZilla video. He like discovers that there was like $2.2 million made just in transaction fees. So every time you purchase one of the tokens, there's like a small amount that goes to it's just like labeled as fees, and then
Right.
that goes into like its own pot, I guess. And he's saying, who's got this money? Like, where's that money go? And the guy like doesn't really. He just avoids the question. He goes, it goes to it's a foundation. He's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, it's a foundation. He's like, it's a foundation, like it's a fund. He's like, well, who owns that fund? And he's
I
like,
love talking
the
about
founders.
funds,
And
don't
they're
they?
like,
Always talking about
who are the
funds, yeah.
founders? Like, who
Yeah.
is that? And then he's like, well, Hailey. Like, and he's like, well, how much does Hailey own? Like, how much of that $2 million did she get? Like, just for these like crypto fees? And he doesn't answer. But he goes on a fucking like mad one on this Twitter space, not CoffeeZilla, like this. His name's Doc Holliday, and he's like the nephew of like a celebrity or something.
All right. So he's got some money already as well.
I think Howie Mandel, like who I only know from like America's Got Talent.
That's
He
him,
must
yeah.
be. Oh, I know it. He was in a Mr. Beast video as well. Television presenter. He voiced Gizmo in Gremlins. Okay. So Gizmo's nephew is one of the founders of the Talk Tuah token.
Brilliant.
God, the 21st century is fucking weird. Yeah, anyway, he goes on this mad, like crazy one. And he's basically saying anyone, he calls all crypto bros mentally ill. He says they're all dumb, they're all stupid. And then he's like, this coin isn't even for them. This coin is for people who have like never bought crypto before, but they're fans of Hailey. And this is like a way of getting them into the crypto space. And Coffee's like, okay, so you're just like targeting people who have no idea what they're investing in.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, these are people who don't know what it is. You've just told them this is a good thing to do. This is what Hailey wants you to do. And then they're just going to buy these tokens and you're going to like leave them holding the bag as you've taken all the money. She was on these Twitter spaces, but not really talking very much. And like CoffeeZilla's pulling out all the facts. This Doc Holliday guy's defending it. Like,
Does he seem to be like the guy, like the main?
he's the guy,
main guy.
yeah. It's him and then this other guy who doesn't have a real name. His name's like Over Here, I think his name is. They're like the guys who are meant to be like running the whole thing. They're the tech guys who have, got her involved in this. Yeah, I don't really know where this is going. But she's part of these Twitter spaces and she's just got an attitude. She's like, CoffeeZilla comes in and goes, this thing is a scam. And she's like, well, why the fuck are you here then? He's like, to tell people it's a scam. That's my job. And then after a while, they end up kicking him out of the Twitter space. Like he.
So what was the Twitter?
Anymore.
So they set it up and he just jumped in basically. Was it?
Yeah,
set it up
like
just
the
to,
Twitter
hype
space
it up
was
or
meant.
something?
Yeah, the Twitter space was just meant to be Hailey and these two guys like telling everyone, hey, buy the token or whatever. And then he was messaging like, let me join, let me speak or whatever. And then they do, which maybe they just shouldn't have done that. And he just like rips them apart for like 10 minutes. And like has an argument with them. And there's like 150,000 people listening in like live on the space. And then
it's funny, these people are obviously like quite arrogant / stupid. They think like, they probably think this is like, fuck this guy. Like we know what he's coming on to say, but like, he's not going to be able to
outsmart us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like this is his job.
Yeah, and I've seen his videos where he's done it loads of times before to and got loads of views doing it.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with her. In the end, they kick him out of Twitter space, and then they're hosting these other spaces over the next few days talking about it, and a bunch of other YouTubers start getting involved. I think FaZe Banks, who's like a gaming, or he used to do gaming stuff, and I think now he's just like YouTube stuff. But a bunch of people are basically saying, well, you never answered CoffeeZilla's questions. Is this a scam? This looks like a scam. And in one of the Twitter spaces, they're questioning Hailey, and she just goes, you know what? I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And it just ends it. And everyone's like, okay, good night. But yeah, I just, every now and then, as I'm just browsing the internet, I think it's a weird world
it is
we live in now.
Very weird. And how do you now? I guess if she has really made a load of money, maybe she's thinking this is my last fucking
jump. Don't care if people hate me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make the fucking money, and then I'm gonna, hopefully it's all gonna fizzle out. But I'm gonna have a load of money.
Yeah,
and that's the end of that. But I've got one last chance to make a load of money. And the best way to do that, crypto scam. Let's get involved.
Maybe so, yeah. Yeah. I like to sometimes I said this before recently about explaining regular things to someone from history,
Yeah.
Explaining a car to a Roman person or something. But even just trying to explain, well, I've struggled explaining this now to you. But trying to explain this whole situation to someone from 25 years ago, 10 years ago, even.
Yeah, it's great.
If it was just I try
and explain stuff like this to even to Gina sometimes, and it's
oh yeah,
where do I start? I'm like, do you know what this thing is? And she's like, no. I'm like, well, there's no point me trying to explain this. Then there's so many layers before I get to what this means. There was a podcast called Reply All. Did you ever listen to that?
Oh, yeah, loved Reply All.
Yeah, and they had yes, no, that segment.
Yeah.
And it would be it would be like a tweet, wouldn't it? And then it would just make no sense to the average. To one of them, we wouldn't really understand it, and the other two would sort of explain it to them.
Yeah. It is mad, the difference between media, it's just the amount of media that's out there to consume, that you can be so in the know on this weird side of the internet, and then there's so many people out there that have no idea what's going on.
It might be a good segment, just getting I definitely want to do it, but getting one of our parents on, just trying to explain something like this.
That would be funny, yeah. Yeah, we need, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if any of my parents would be up for it.
Not mine really either.
No. So Curio coin. There was a Curio coin at a point, weren't there?
I think there was. Oh yeah. I was going to say, I don't think where's the line of morality Curio with it? Because, you shouldn't do it, obviously, and it's bad. But, I guess, in their head, is it I'm just taking, maybe I'm taking £1 from, or £10 from loads of people. If they're that's what you see a lot of. I see some of the people, I'm just, some influencer, I swear, was just on one of these CoffeeZilla videos or something, one of their responses was well, if people are stupid enough to buy it, then fuck them.
Yeah, there was I don't know if it was part of a CoffeeZilla thing, but there was a streamer called Ice Poseidon. And again, this is one of those things that if you don't know who he is, then it's really hard to explain the entire situation. But he was just one of these degenerate streamers who very toxic community. And
yeah, I recognise the name. That was pretty.
He would videos, a lot of his streaming was just doing stupid things in public and annoying people and just being a fucking annoying guy. So he made a crypto token, and I think he even said from the beginning, oh, this is a scam. He's I'll probably just take all, and so many people bought the coin, and he just pulled it, took all the money, and then everyone was kicking off about it, being like, he scammed his fans. He was like, I said it was a scam. He's like the people who bought it, and like he was getting so much pressure to like give back the money. And I guess it's a little bit of a dilemma because like, is it still a scam
if you say it is? Yeah. Is it still immoral if you say, if you give me all your money, I'm gonna take it? That's the bottom line.
Yeah. If I said to you like, Rob, that guitar, can I borrow it? And you're like, yeah. I'm not gonna give it back. Like, if you give me that guitar, I'm gonna have it. It's mine now. And you still give me the guitar
because I sort of think you're joking.
And you're like, oh yeah, but like I need it back for next week. I've got a gig, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to give it back. But if you still want to lend it to me, then you can lend it to me, and I just will take it. And then you give it to me, and like, who's at fault there? Like,
yeah, interesting.
It's a good thought exercise.
It is.
It's like the trolley problem. Like,
what's the trolley problem?
The trolley problem is, you would have heard it probably. You're standing by some train tracks, and there's 5 people tied to the train tracks, and they call it a trolley. Basically, a train is coming down, and it's going to squash these 5 people. They're all going to die. But you have got the power to push a lever, and it will divert the train onto a different track where there's only one person tied down. Do you do that? So you cannot interfere, and you haven't done anything, but then 5 people have died. Or do you do that? So you have now caused one person to die. Obviously. Yeah. And some people say, oh, obviously I would just divert it because one person dying is better than 5. But the other person's like, well, no, because then I haven't done anything. I'm not interfering. I haven't killed the other person. So those people were tied down when I got here.
The philosophical thought experiment,
But so I've just come up with the talk to a problem.
The crypto version of that,
Yeah, I'll take that to the philosophy professor. See what they have to say about it.
It's interesting, though.
I don't know if I have much more to say about talk to it.
See how it develops.
Yeah, I wonder if there are like other people who have had their like 15 minutes of fame for like a little catchphrase. You know, like Wildstone Raider, for example. You want some? I'll give it you. Like, he had a little pop off, and like I think he did make some money. He does cameos now, and like he did some like nightclub appearances and stuff. But I doubt he made more than like 10 grand. Like I bet he like made some money, and he's still just watching Wildstone play on a weekend. So like, do you think maybe not him, but like other people that have had like a viral video, got like a couple 100 mil views on like a TikTok or something, look at that thinking, why couldn't I be the one who like made it? Why couldn't I have the podcast?
Or do you reckon there are other people that have tried to like maybe the Wildstone Raider tried to make a cryptocurrency, Wildstone coin, Raider coin, or something like, and like, do you reckon there are other people that have done that, but it hasn't? No, not enough people bought it to even do a rug pull. Like,
like hasn't got enough notoriety to like talk about.
I bet there are people that have tried. But like, maybe we can make a rug pull, and it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, but then I guess that's kind of what I mean. Like, she had enough popularity to do it. So like, even before the coin, the meme kicked off enough.
She made enough money
for her to have this big podcast and like go to all these events and meet all these famous people and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's so many other people that have maybe had a viral video that wasn't even just circumstantial. Like hers was just, she was in the right place at the right time, said the right
someone
thing.
Has made a video.
Someone else uploaded it. Yeah. What happened to those guys?
Yeah.
I'm going to Google it real quick. Guys that filmed Hawk Tuah video.
Because it's probably one of those ones where they didn't even get as many views as the thing got. You know, it would have been like reposted, reshared. So the original video that they shot didn't necessarily, and uploaded, didn't necessarily get all the views. I would have thought.
No, exactly. And I've seen like someone posted like, I saw a tweet that was like, this is the full video, and it's like a 15-minute long YouTube video.
I think I've seen that as well. Yeah,
and then they're just going around in the street interviewing people.
Yeah,
and that was just like a 1 second part of a 15-minute video.
So
I think they talked to her for like quite a bit more as well.
Did they even do the clip?
I don't know. I don't
Someone
know if
else
they
might have
actually
even done the clip. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they uploaded the clip, but it got shared by so many accounts that like
just lost. Yeah.
It would have got probably billions of views like over and over again, but how many were actually from their video? Probably not a lot.
Yeah, not a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a Hawk Tuah moment. I think of something.
We'll go out and interview people in.
Well, no, we
South
need to be
End,
the ones.
doesn't
We
it?
need to set up like a. We need to set up like a fake thing where people interview us.
Oh right, yeah.
Because we need to be the meme.
Yeah, I see.
We don't want to be those guys who filmed the video.
So yeah, of course.
We want to be the Hawk Tuah.
We want to be the Hawk Tuahs. Yeah.
On that note, yeah, that was Curio episode 113. That's everything we know about Hawk Tuah girl.
Legends never die.